Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Longhorn Radio. We are your hosts, Elizabeth,
Shreya,
and Nikita,
and welcome to Season 2, Episode Teenage Portrayal in Media. Super fun. So, as you can tell from the title, we'll be talking about teenage portrayal in media. See how that works?
That's
insane.
crazy.
That's insane. But first, let's throw out a few announcements for all of you wonderful listeners out there.
Shreya's headphones are currently falling off her head.
My bad. Okay. And now to the announcements.
This month is Black History Month, so be sure to keep an eye out for infographics that are being posted on the Family Story.
On the 17th and 18th, that is a Thursday and a Friday, there will be minimum days.
And from the 21st of February to the 25th of February, there'll be no school.
Exciting.
All right, well, let's jump right into the episode. Let's deep dive. So, does anyone want to start off this discussion?
Well, I feel like with the recent release of Euphoria Season 2,
this is a very... We're getting there already. Euphoria.
This is a very relevant topic. You know, to be fair, haven't seen any of Euphoria, which doesn't make me that credited to talk about this. However, from what I know, Euphoria depicts teens as these, like, first of all, the actors are like 25, but that's a different story.
Yes, I have something to say about actors' age in, like, high school cinema, but we'll get to that later. You continue.
They're depicted as these very, like, think about teens in today's world. People are just, there are a few people that are actually, like, super like that, if that makes sense. Like, most teens in high school are, like, going to school, get their work done. You know, that's kind of the story.
And then leaving, just going home.
And then you go home. Like,
There's nothing eventful.
There are some students who, you know, do their own thing, and they are free to do whatever they please to do. But then there's people like me who just go to school and want to get out immediately. So they just, you know, do their work, and then they go home, and then unfortunately do more work. But that's besides the point. In a lot of these teenage TV shows, do they even have homework, these characters? Because I never see characters do homework.
Yeah, they go home and go to a party.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? Also, what I want to know is, how do kids sneak out? Because in the TV shows, they're like, oh my God, I'm going to go to, like, this rave at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night and jump out of the window of my house and go,
you know,
what?
I think that you're just a golden child, and you and you just don't do that kind of thing.
Nah, you know what the thing is? I have Asian parents. So, Indian parents, to be more specific. That will not be tolerated in our household.
Also, you live in a second story. Like, are you just gonna, like, jump out the window?
Break my legs?
My parents take it to the next level by adding, like, little, like, not cameras, but, like, alarms to the windows. Every window has one.
For real?
Yeah, because our Ring thing comes with it, so every window in our house has a Ring thing.
So
you open it, you hear
nice.
a ding ding, or in the nighttime when we put the, like, we're sleeping thing, it will, like, blaze.
That's high security. Okay.
Nobody be busting into Nikita's house.
About the actors' ages. Other than Stranger Things, I haven't seen accurate depiction of high school looking students.
No, yeah. Like, they cast, like, Jacob Elordi as, like, a junior? A senior?
Yeah, and he's, like, freaking built and,
Mans is,
like, 6'4".
Yeah, Mans is, like, a built man. Like, he's, like, in his, like, mid-20s.
Yeah. And
This is
also,
not what high schoolers look like.
yeah, I feel like as a kid, whenever I watched these high school shows or high school movies, I always thought, oh, gee, I'm gonna look like that when I'm in high school.
False.
And I'm gonna wear such clothes in high school.
That's a really good voice.
Thank you. That's how I sounded when I was a kid, actually.
okay.
Yeah. And that is very untrue. I'm like 5'4", and I'm like so puny. But anyways, it's okay. Okay.
It just sets up unrealistic expectations.
It really
basically.
does. It really does, because they show these super hyper feminine or
Yes.
hyper masculine characters. And don't get me wrong, the outfits, especially in Euphoria, they slap. But
They're all like models too.
yeah.
Exactly.
Like they got Zendaya in there. Like Sis is
And Alexa Demi, Sydney Sweeney, they are so pretty. Hunter Schafer, like these are all the actors and actresses
real.
from Euphoria, and they're so pretty. And I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like, okay, do not take this the wrong way. I just don't know how to put the exact words into this, but let's just get normal looking kids, just regular kids. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of talented young actors out there who
I
are
agree.
pining for such roles, and I feel like that would also normalize a more realistic high school environment, you know?
Yeah. Even dating back to like the High School Musical series, they didn't like okay, they looked more like teenagers than like Euphoria actors, but they were still like 20s when they were filming those movies, which honestly like I don't think they looked particularly like old for the role. I feel like they had a more fitting like Zac Efron and like Vanessa Hudgens. Like they didn't look like particularly old. Like they seemed like they could be like
The hair really the hair really put the picture together.
yes.
They were like romanticizing like high school
They
musical.
were
Yeah.
they were romanticizing high school so much. In reality, high school is tough, guys. High school.
Thanks for that one.
Yeah. Just so you know. It's tough out
Just
there.
in case you haven't come to your own realization of that, high school is in fact a little bit tricky.
It is. And, you know, we're all very stressed. There's some nights where I can barely sleep because, you know, I'm very anxious about a test, or I feel like I'm not doing good enough, or I feel like I won't, you know, become this perfect student, or whatever that means. But in High School Musical, they're just like,
They don't have homework.
They're
They
like,
have no
in this
responsibilities.
together.
They are all in this together.
they're having fun.
Yeah, there's this one SNL skit, and Zac Efron was in it, and it was basically, it took place in the High School Musical high school, and it's a new class of students who are graduating, and Zac Efron comes in as Troy Bolton, who gives like an alumni speech, and he's like, guys, this is not what the real world is like. There's actual knowledge that we have not, you know, partaken in our High School Musical experience. And then all of the high schoolers who are graduating are like, oh my god, no, we're all in this together. What are you talking about?
Together.
Together. And then he's like, what's the capital of Texas? And they all just stare at each other in silence.
Houston.
No,
Austin.
Austin.
That
I knew
is so
that.
embarrassing for you.
Elizabeth, you're supposed to learn this in 5th grade.
Oh my gosh. Send her to High School Musical.
We
What's
should.
the capital of Alaska?
The capital of Alaska is Juneau.
Juneau.
What's this is just a capital quiz
Yeah,
now.
wait, no, give me more. Let's
Oh.
see.
Capital of Oregon.
Salem.
Salem.
What's the capital of Rhode Island?
Anyways, going back to the topic. What do you guys personally think are the most accurate teenage depictions in media?
Phineas and Ferb.
Yes.
No, okay, that's actually not a joke. Here's why. Although they're not like in high school yet, they're still in middle school. They are like, okay, despite the fact that they can literally make like a roller coaster that like touches the ozone layer.
In their backyard.
Let's ignore that fact.
And their mom still didn't know?
Yeah. Don't know why she's at the grocery store every day. But I feel like Phineas and Ferb kind of depicts what a kid should really be all about. It kind
Aw.
of shows remember this about your childhood, like you could dream of anything, and like even if it was you actually couldn't do it, like you still had so much fun being a kid. And I feel like Phineas and Ferb really
Depicted
encapsulates that.
You know what I feel? Because of a lot of the TV shows and movies and the depiction of what, adolescence is like these days, so many kids are eager to grow up. I feel like there isn't a preteen age anymore. There isn't that jump from kid to preteen to teenager. It's just you're in 5th grade and then you become an adult all of a sudden. In middle school, everyone wants to be this, super popular or super, I don't, do you know what?
I know what you mean. Like everyone wants to grow up like super fast, but then when they are like kind of older, they're like, oh, I want to be a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since I was little, I've always for some reason I was like, oh my God, I can't wait until I'm 17.
Same.
I don't know why it's 17. Probably just because it's my last year of being a not adult. And so I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. But the more I think about it, I'm like, what was I like anticipating here? I'm just going to be a senior in high school doing my college reps.
Yeah, I'm stuck, studying for a calc test. I don't know.
So exciting.
So I always just feel like, why didn't I cherish my childhood more?
Yeah, same. I always dreamed about, becoming this material teenager.
Material girl.
It's like being like, oh my God, I'm going to be older and I'm going to be so cool.
Yeah, I always imagined myself going shopping every day after school and
Girl.
like those like movie scenes where they try on clothes in the dressing room and they come out and everyone like shakes their head constantly until it gets to that outfit.
Oh my God.
I thought I'd be like that girl with like an indie pop rock song playing in the background or something like that. And also like carrying 10 shopping bags out of the mall or I don't know what I was thinking. It would be nice though.
It would.
Honestly, I feel kind of sorry for her. I feel sorry for little Shreya.
Little Shreya had a rolly backpack. And I'll never let you forget that.
I was a rolly backpack kid. No, you didn't hear that. You did not hear that. Did not hear that.
We're cutting that out.
We're cutting that out.
I'm going to leave it in. No, actually, you're editing. Never mind.
I'm editing, guys. Anyways, it's fine. I suppose I'll let it get out to the world.
You'll let it slide.
Yeah.
Your secret exposed.
No, but I kind of feel, a little sad because she had these really high expectations and she thought she was going to be living in a dream world. But now, with shows like Euphoria, obviously kids shouldn't be watching Euphoria, but it kind of shows that, it's not High School Musical all the time. Even though, like we said earlier, it isn't as, not all kids partake in the extracurriculars that Euphoria characters partake in. It does show that, the teenage era is full of hardships and it is a reality and we do struggle. It is not just life of the party for us just because, we're not adults yet. We are still, struggling as we're growing a little older and we're learning more about the world, getting more exposure.
We are learning how to grow into adults.
When you say that, I think of like caterpillars.
No,
What?
I'm going through metamorphosis right now.
Anyways, any final thoughts, guys?
My final thoughts are that Phineas and Ferb is
One of
my childhood.
It's also one of the best shows, so if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it.
If you haven't watched Phineas and Ferb, go do it.
What are you doing in
Please.
life?
Oh,
You will
what
be
are your
so
guys'
educated.
favorite like high school TV shows or movies?
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb.
I don't know.
Period.
I don't watch any TV.
Listen, I don't watch much TV either. I just immerse myself in YouTube. When I get home, it's YouTube all day, every day. Just kidding. I do my homework, guys.
Okay, as I said earlier, Stranger Things is the most accurate with casting age. It really
I
is.
agree.
Another realistic thing is the Demogorgons. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
I mean, that's what I do every day after school. You know, I go to Hawkins Laboratory, and anyways. All right, guys.
Oop.
Is that all we have to say? Anything else? Are we good?
My other thing to say is that you are a Stranger Things fanatic.
No, not really.
Anyways.
Okay, I feel like they're overhyping season 4.
Oh, they're doing that?
Yeah, because
This is season 4.
I feel
They were
like,
like, it's
3-4 seasons is enough.
Because I feel like they were like, okay, it'll come out in 2020, and then it doesn't. And they're like, okay, it'll come out in 2021. It doesn't. And they're like, okay, it'll come out in 2020. I get with COVID, but they're really and also, like, Hopper is alive, but he was, like, dead, and they had this whole, like, sad, depressing he's dead thing at the end of season 3, but then he's alive, which
Depression arc.
is, like, what was the... Anyways. All right, guys.
Somebody likes Stranger Things. Anyways.
Not my favorite show, but it's
up there.
It's somewhere there. It's somewhere there.
Okay.
Understandable.
Do I have a favorite show?
Do you?
I'll think about it.
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it.
Next episode, hear it live.
Thank you to all of our listeners for joining us today. Now, before we send you off, don't forget to follow the family Instagram account for all things Lee. Remember, you can be a future guest and join us on the podcast to discuss a topic of your choice by filling out the form linked below.
Thank you for tuning into Longhorn Radio. See you next time.
This has been Longhorn Radio.
Elizabeth.
Shreya,
Nikita.
signing out.